as we should be getting started any second now. There we go. Usually, an inverted start is you're going to look at Link's house. And, okay, that makes things a lot easier. They have a weapon.
I thought we weren't getting an assured sword. I
Well,
want
the
my
uncle
money
is...
back.
Well, that's Uncle Assured for details. Now, we're seeing Mikan actually going to pull this statue over here and see if they can get some early bombs. Wrong statue. Whereas we're seeing Hitsu just make a play straight for Stumpy. Another free item. Magic here, and we have all 3 pendants in the Dark World. Pod has our green. Meyer and Thieves Town are our other 2. And we also had a red crystal there. I believe that one was at Ice? It was one of the southern ones. I know that much.
Yeah, it's at Ice.
So that means we have a 3 crystal Dark World. And one of them is off another 5-6. Ah, the arrow minigame. Already a hype game check too. Pretty good value here. Although not starting out so much. A bottle. Not bad. And just a little extra spending money. Not too much. It'll be enough to play the chess game in Village Outcast, rather.
Yeah, that's good at least.
And wow, we have a glove at the digging game.
Oh, that's a good find for sure.
And you see the Hitsu is not immediately picking up. Instead, gonna try to get some more rupees here to keep their funds going.
Yeah, Inverted has the issue of it's usually a bit of a cash drought early. Especially since most of what you do in the Dark World does actually want you to have some money.
Yeah, 146 though is a very good amount. And now it's time
Yeah,
for cons.
some people will opt to do this arrow game even for money.
Yeah. It is an easy minigame once you know the secret, and I think the secret is to wait for the targets to be just over the drummer's head. That seems to be about the right timing. Now, we have 2 different sprites here, obviously. One of which I think that's CDI Link on our left. And to our right, we have Phoenix Wright. And oh boy,
Yeah,
I can't wait.
That probably is CDI Link. That would be a pretty good guess.
Also, something I just noted here, I remember that we said that we have all 3 crystals in the light world, which means we do need the book at some point.
Do you really need the book to enter desert, though? You can... Oh, yeah, because the ledge isn't a thing, right.
That's the trick. You can't mirror onto... You can't backdoor desert. You can backdoor Turtle Rock and Inverted, but you cannot backdoor desert.
Yeah, that I did mistake.
Yeah. It catches a lot of people off guard. And wow, there's a lot of 50-50s right there. Or is those guaranteed?
Bumper Cave's got just a part piece.
Yes, and we're going to see Hitsu, though, climbing up the mountain. Because that's another change, is that Death Fountain's open to you in the Dark World. And that means...
Another thing that is different along with Death Mountain is that Aghadim's up there.
Yeah, so that's what I mentioned earlier, is that Aga 1 and Aga 2 are flip-flops. So Aga 1 is occupying Ganon's tower, and Aga 2 is occupying Aga's tower, Castle Tower. And the contents, and he took the contents of each location with him, so we'll be dealing with the same dungeon layout regardless. And that's I always find this interesting that the old man just doesn't transform in the Dark World, but yeah, you can't really track him anywhere.
Mikan, meanwhile, is diving Skullwoods, finds Moon Pearl.
That's a great find. Although, if we see the lamp, that's not a good thing, actually.
No, because that means your Dark World access is Aga.
Well, it could be a... Could also just mean, yeah, hammer away.
Yeah. God damn that bunny sprite. Looks like Hera was the other 5-6.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just money from the old man, and apparently he has a secret door.
Mikan dip in the back portion to try and find the other item in Skullwoods. Having some issues with the Gibdos and the Wallmaster. They're really getting in his way.
Yeah, those Gibdos are very annoying enemies here. And the common practice in version 30 that we see is a lot of people just go for this item no matter what it is.
Well, that's due to the addition of hints, which there is one in here. So you may as well come in here if you're checking the hint anyways.
Yep, and you can raise a bunny. So catching a hard container requires a big red bomb. So we do not...
5 and 6 are low priority now.
Yep. They might as well just be regular old blue crystals. Now, the Pyramid Fairy could still have a use. Because you can chuck a bottle into it and get a free potion. And it's right next to Ganon. But I doubt anyone will be making the play with that hint, with the knowledge of that hint.
Yeah. Now, Mikan is going to head down to the village of Outcast, check the chest here, while Hitsuyan is going to go to Skullwoods. May want to be careful about getting tagged by another enemy, though, at least before he gets into the hole.
We have Light World access now because we have the Titan's bits in Sea House.
Yep, so that does give a couple of locations. We will need a hammer to access some of the others, but that does at least give them, for instance, the one right over here.
Yeah, and pretty much majority of Light World is still been seasoned. There's a Master Sword on top of that. Very
good find.
So the only real drawback, of course, to a Titan's Mitts alternate world access, I'll just call it that, because it matters in both inverted and open, and standard as well. There's only one portal you have, and that is the one over by Kakariko and the Village of Outcasts. It's not exactly the most convenient portal to use, although we do have access to Mire now. It's a bit of a walk, but we do have access to Mire.
Yeah, Mire is something you can do now.
No, wait, no.
Or
I'm thinking.
Not really.
I'm thinking of the portals being the wrong way again.
That's what it does to your head.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, Mikan decided to go and dive Thieves. I would not be surprised, however, if Mikan decides to take a Death Warp, due to the low health that he has currently, and just the fact that sometimes he just checks 4 chests and leave. But it looks like he does want to try and clear Thieves Town on 3 hearts.
Sometimes that's what the randomizer wants you to do here on inverted mode.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that is definitely a true statement.
I mean,
Mikan also can't access the big chest, so he may have to come back for an item.
I mean, there's no harm in leaving the back half of Thieves Town alone for the time being. It is a pendant after all. Which means...
Yeah. End up in that bad spot with the statue. And leaves. There are rare instances, and you can get the statue in just the wrong position to where it's almost impossible to grab it, because you're, like, right on top of the button.
Yeah. It's really annoying. And grumble, grumble, we got a fake hint.
Yep, Mikan goes and finds a fake hint. I believe there's, like, potentially 5 or so of those. I know they're what fills the remaining hint slots. The hints that are guaranteed in the scene is there's at least a boots hint, and At least a good chunk of the hints are like more specific, and then some of them are more vague.
Yeah. If there's something that says a unique item, could be referring to the boots, or could be referring to just something that's related to progression. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure if it also takes into account that there's a unique junk items as well. I want to say it does, but at the same time, I could be wrong.
Mikan gets a heart container. That's a very welcome find on their current health total. But still in a situation where 2 hits from almost anything in the dungeon will KO Mikan, even from full. And there's only one other item down here he can obtain. Like I mentioned earlier, without the hammer, he can't actually check the big chest.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many items are left in the dungeon, though. I don't remember seeing how many he's picked up. I think it might be a coin flip between the last item and the dungeon item now. No, actually, there's 2 items left.
Oof, yeah.
Which means that is something that the runners will have to keep in mind.
Yeah, and of course, this is a pendant dungeon, so you don't really want to dive it again. Tires flip for a flat rate. Ugh.
I mean, to be fair, you don't have a lot of pressure to make good puns down here.
Yeah. And Mikan is leading
like the one you completely neglected there.
Whatever. Anyway, Blind going down pretty handedly there.
Yeah, Mikan got that well swept.
Yep. Piece of heart, and there's still one item left. We need the hammer for it, unfortunately. So, we're leaving that behind. Hopefully, it's not anything important.
Hitsu not going to check the rest of the dungeon, in part probably because it's a pendant, and is instead going to dip the treasure trove that is Kakariko.
Alright, let's start with the well here. This is 5 items. And this is actually a fairly rich seed as well. We got a lot of money available to us.
Yeah, they've checked off a good chunk of the money locations already, and they're actually doing pretty well.
Oh, there's Bombos.
Now, because of inverted, we only actually need the medallion for Meyer. Turtle Rock can be backdoored through its other entrances.
Yes. But you need the mirror in order to do so. And I think also the hook shot, because you can't get over there otherwise.
Yeah, something like that.
Although we can get there because of our current navigation. There's a fire rod, though.
That's important, because both a moth and a Trinex need to die this seed.
As does an eyeball encased in ice.
Well, we had Bombos to do that already.
Yeah, but at our current weapon strength, the fire rod's a much more viable kill option.
Yeah, and Bombos at least gets the shell open quickly. So the combination's very nice to have.
Yeah. Well, there's the ice rod. See, did you try to tell something?
If there's an item you want to see early, that is the item.
Or just a Samari away from being able to clear Turtle Rock. We could have just Laser Bridge have Big Key, Small Key because of that backdoor logic, and just you can go straight to Trinex, ignore the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, that's pretty good. In inverted mode, you can actually do go mode Turtle Rock a little easier, but it depends on where that big key is.
Yep. Alright, we have this bottle since Hype Cave. What is inside? Just a piece of heart.
More health. You won't say no to it right now.
But yeah, the point I was getting at earlier is that Bomb was actually slower on Cold Stare, but it's more mana efficient to do so.
Yeah, and in their current situation, they may want the magic efficiency given their low damage.
And also, it takes the entire magic bar to break Cold Stare's shell.
There's also that. Nope, nothing on the bookshelf we were looking for, just a big 20. Hitsuyan gonna check race game instead of just performing race game.
Just money.
And I think I just saw a bunch of money, so that works. Really, knowing that the Pyramid Fairy isn't something they have to access, they really just need the 500 rupees for King Zora and the 110 to enter Pod.
And we're gonna check Cave Alpha Grove. Did you see something in the grass there? My eyes might be playing tricks on me. Looks like VT. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I see that.
Just a little Easter egg that's in inverted mode specifically.
Hitsuyan gonna check the dam. And it looks like Mikan's gonna follow suit. This is kind of a south loop you can make in inverted, so it's pretty efficient to do.
Yeah. It's a shame they don't have the mirror, though, because the nice capstone to the South Shore route is to check Eyesore Cave and then mirror and check a hint that's also in the Dark World in that same area.
Yeah, and this is one of the few modes where you'll actually see that hint get read. So
yeah,
it's a very unfortunate timing.
Yeah, because good luck going all the way over that way just for one hint in any other mode besides inverted.
Bye, Boomerang. We'll miss you.
Yeah, Hitsu not picking that up. I don't blame him. It's kind of awkward to menu with it, but it could still be useful.
Yeah, there's always stun prizes to look into.
Well, also, just some fancy GT crystal switch shenanigans.
Yeah, that trick is something that people like doing too. Lots of spares. And Quake.
Quake, Medallion, and Mini Molder. Not much else to speak of.
Well, the good thing about that is, if we find Ether, it does not matter what the medallion is on. Either Turtle Rock or Mire, they can just go in there when they're ready.
Actually, we may not mean a medallion at all because, like we said, backdoor logic in GT, and Mire is only a pendant. Our goal is to be Ganon.
Mire is only a pendant. Been watching too much All Dungeons.
It happens, it happens.
Of course, if there's something on the pedestal, then they will have to go there. But Inverted doesn't require as many items for Go mode. And with Mire out of the equation, it's not going to be... It's still not going to be that much. That's good, though.
Yeah, I looked away for a brief moment at our trackers here to see what we could potentially have. Oh, the boots! Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, boots are very nice.
Yeah, in terms of what could be on our... Oh. We could have flippers, and also the hook shot as well on the pedestal.
I think Hitsuyan was going to try and do a boots glitched water walk, but missed the window of timing and is going to just do a fake flipper instead.
Could also have gotten the boots lock, but no, it looks like he didn't. So yeah, there's a setup in which you can do a water walk setup with the boots. And then you set up a deliberate fake flipper instead. And that just essentially stores it.
Like Mikan did here.
Mikan didn't actually store her, the water walk though, just went straight for it. That's can't get that, unfortunately, but that's good information to have. A tempered sword on the Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, you're gonna probably want that at some point. Hitsuyan, interestingly, went and checked the forest from the flipper route.
Yeah, if the flippers are in logic, of course, that's gonna throw a curveball. Oh, but the flute is in the Lost Woods! That's really great. That's our
That's
Meyer
very
access. And also, based on what we have right now, that is also our access to Palace of Darkness. We don't have any other means to get over to the eastern side of Dark World.
This is true. And it looks like Mikan's gonna go get that Tempered Sword. And save quit.
And something we didn't mention here, folks, and why you probably are confused now. The flute has to be activated here in the light world, as we're seeing from Hitsu, but it works only in the dark world.
Yeah, so basically, there are analog locations in the dark world where they would be in light world. So Hitsuyan won't actually be able to use the flute until they either find the mirror or save quit.
That's right. But when they can use that flipper or the flute rather, they can go to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a Boots location check first here, and I believe Graveyard Cliff is probably also on the table.
And Kingston. We have the Titan-Smiths. It's usually the only way you get into Kingston. Actually, the only way you can get into Kingston is with the Titan-Smiths. And
yeah,
that was our light.
You need it.
Yeah, that was our light world access. And another potion with some free blue in it. Always nice to have that.
Well, now for this ever elusive check.
And the King...
Fortune.
Yep. I got reminded of a different game now.
Ice Rod. It's
Alright,
to the back of Escape.
Yeah, can check the factory chest here. Can't get the one in the dark, unless the small key is here. Hook shot though, and the small key.
Big. And he got the small key, but gotta check the chest up in Sanctuary too.
Yes. So probably going to do that first, and then just enter Escape normally. Hookshot though gives us pretty much all of our mobility in terms of accessing the Dark World. We can even now go over to Paradox Cave.
Yeah, I think the only thing we don't have access to as of right now is the ability to get over to Tower of Hera.
Correct. We do still need the mirror for that. Or no. We need the hammer for that, my bad.
Yeah, because of those pesky pegs.
Yep. At least Hitsu does not have to deal with the Lionels, can just go around them. But I think in this case, Hitsu's going to at least say hi to them because there's Hookshot Cave as well as Super Bunny on the other side. And then can just take the crystal or the teleporter at the base of the east side.
Yeah.
Nice luring of those Lionels as well. Avoiding a lot of unnecessary damage there. And those Lionels hurt. Their fireballs not as much as their contact. There's our flippers too, so that puts that tempered sword that Mikan has in logic. There's
also
the red boomerang.
In there.
Yeah, it just puts all of our water checks in logic. And there's the gold sword. Tempered for Hitsu. We know where all the swords are already. This is kind of a free seed.
It's a high damage, low defense seed.
I mean, glass cannons are always fun to play, right?
They can be. They certainly can be. Not to mention, we still have a lot to check up here on Death Mountain.
And unfortunately, Pet is pretty much dead.
I think there's literally one item that could be on Ped, and that's the mirror.
Yeah, mirror. That's the only thing I can think of as well.
Because I'm pretty sure you needed the hammer in pod, so don't even need to question if it's needed in
You need the
Mire.
hammer in pod, you need the bow in pod, you need the lamp in Mire, and you need King Samari in Mire.
So yeah, just the mirror. Because we need it for Swamp.
Actually, wait, there's actually one last thing. We could have the Paradox. As we find the bow for Hitsu.
In Paradox.
Yeah, we could have the Pedestal Paradox. We could have Book on Pedestal.
Oh yeah, there is that too, because of Desert. Alright, looks like Mikan's gonna hookshot over to the right side to actually go to Zora.
Makes sense to me.
There's our last medallion.
So that guarantees that we can at least enter the front part of Turtle Rock. But nothing we can do there except check the hint.
It also opens the doors to Mire, though Mire's not clearable and is a pendant.
Yeah. Could have progression, though. Could have our hammer. I've seen it in there, actually. Not a nice place. Floating Island only has 20 rupees.
10 arrows on the Legend Zora's domain.
Yep.
I believe this is the last check Hitsu can do in Death Mountain, so after this will most likely be a save quit to check something else.
Last check they can do, barring any sort of progression, which is not. Alright, Zora, you were a scam artist today? Kinda. 500 for 300.
Still a waste of time, practically.
Pretty much. At least we don't have to go back to his domain anytime soon.
Okay, so Mikan now going to do the same mountain check that was just done by Hitsu. And get the old man, because he hasn't actually been up here yet. Really, the main difference between Hitsu and Mikan right now in terms of time is the fact that Mikan took the time to actually clear Thieves' Town fully.
Yes, and wasn't worth the effort at all that we know of.
Yeah. Hitsu, meanwhile, is going to go take care of Skullwoods. Given it a bit out of the way, I don't blame him.
Yeah, Tempered Sword, a full roll of health, and the Fire Rod in hand. That's Master Hand, or a Wall Master grabbing him. I got Ultimate on the mind, apparently.
Don't we all?
Kinda. But yeah.
Could use a medallion here to clear out these Gibdos.
Yeah.
They also just die, I think, in 4 swings, barring his sword projectile hitting them.
But yeah. Ether would be the most recommended option against Gibdos because it's the fastest medallion in terms of animation.
The thing that's frustrating for Hitsu, too, is he actually had to skip on this chest earlier because he got the statue in a bad spot. Didn't want to waste more time. And without the mirror, there's 2 checks in the back that need to happen, and really, it's annoying to get to one of them, so... Do you go to that item first, or do you go to Moth first?
I say let's go to Moth first, that way when you're done with the dungeon, you just go back in and get the second item.
Well, the things we know that are left are the big key, an item, and some other dungeon item.
Yeah, this covers the majority of the bases right here. Because it saves you the backtracking for the most part, and if you needed to, you can just die on the spikes and the Gibdos in the next room over.
Mikan going for this bomb jump.
Gets it.
Get it.
Well set up. Moth fight now.
Moth will die in 4 tempered swings if you can manage to land them on him while he's not touching spikes. And if Hitsu does have issues, he A, has a B, which is effective on the Moth. And B, he has a blue potion, which would help him if he needed the magic back.
Yeah. Doesn't need either though, and Moth only has the compass, so 50-50 shot that our item is in that second chest here in the back half of Skull Woods. If it's not here, then it's in the big chest, and...
I was about to say this had to be the big key, but I remember the big key can lock itself in the big chest.
That's right. Bow for Mikan now. And actually, you know what play I would think is probably good value right now after Skull Woods for Hitsu? Take the flute, go to pod. We have the bow, and we can clear the majority of the dungeon. Oh, there's the second item, and it is the mushroom. So yeah, I would say go to pod.
Yeah, you can flute to the location. Well, you can't turn in the mushroom technically, not easily, but you can at least go to pod.
Yeah. And
or Mire.
Going to Mire. All right. So what do we got here?
There's stuff over here he can get, so it makes some sense.
Yeah, and it is Quake for Misery Mire.
Not that the medallion itself necessarily matters at this point for either runner.
No, it really doesn't. It looks like Mikan checked Paradox first, so did not get the flippers from Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave.
Well, that's because he went to turn in the old man.
That is true. I didn't remember that part.
So if he wants to check those, he needs to actually save and quit. Hitsu doing the flipper checks now. Gonna see that gold sword and grab it immediately.
Yeah, some people don't really care for the gold sword, but it is more damage against Trinex, and you do have to deal with him eventually.
Well, it's also very easy to grab in this particular seed. All the swords were in pretty accessible locations.
Yeah. We even got a free one in our house.
The one difference here is Hitsu is going to be able to check the waterfall cave. And depending on what's there, Mikan may need to make his way back over.
So I have a little bit of overlap here. I'd like to give a shout out to our tracker, Melee Wizard, another good friend of ours. Ours personally. Keeping those items up to date for you down there.
Both runners, smooth as butter. But Mikan does need to check Super Bunny is actually going to check the medallion for T-Rock.
I mean, there's a hint there. You might as well just read it. Maybe it'll give you good information.
True, he can open up the front, get this hint quickly, and move on.
Yeah, a lot of the Dark World dungeons have it. And would you like 11 arrows? There you go. They're in Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, that was not worth it. Mikan, however, is taking a bit of a risk too because it takes about 20 to 30 seconds to open Turtle Rock and check this hint.
Yeah, but the hint is...
something he knows.
Unfortunately, yes. Although it
I did not see him go to Super Bunny, by the way, did you?
I think they did. They went to Hookshot, so there's no reason not that they didn't go there.
I don't think there was anything important there, but it's just something that crossed my mind. I don't think I saw him check that location.
Yeah, I think the play here is Palace of Darkness.
Pod would make sense. I'm not sure why Mikan is running over there and not just using the flute. Oh, because Catfish, probably.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. And Hitsu is going to go into Ice as well. Ice is pretty valuable here. Only
Ice, I think, is also a mistake.
No, not going to
why he's not going to Ice. You don't have the hammer. You can't clear Ice.
That is true, but there is still 3 hints, that one of which could be to where your hammer is, and I've seen a force double dip of Ice Palace, actually.
Yeah, I've also seen the hammer in Ice, so it's not like it's a completely wrong assumption to make. But you are locked out of like half the chests in that dungeon without the hammer.
That is true. I will concede that.
So Eastern is actually going to be the play for Hitsu.
Just about
Which
as good.
also makes sense. It is a similarly denned location.
Yep. 20 rupees, our third bottle with a free fairy, and a heart piece, which gives them the second row.
Mikan probably going to go to the pyramid next to check the item on it, and then go to pod, whereas Hitsu is going to go into Eastern.
Yeah, and Hitsu can full clear Eastern, which makes more sense.
Well, not within logic, but he can't clear it fully.
Yeah. The lamp is required by the seed, but if you know your dark rooms, you don't need it.
Most runners would put the word required for lamp in like 5 sets of quotation marks. So 3 items to find for Hitsu. Mikan's going to be trying to get up to 5, but might not be able to get all of them due to the hammer being necessary for a couple. Or 1, really, actually.
Yeah, only the boss is hammer locked in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, so he can get everything but the boss. Which means 4 or 5 items.
Unfortunately, Pod is also one of the more annoying dungeons because the routing in Pod is a nightmare without the mirror.
You at least have boots. It's a small constellation.
Yeah, there's that.
Hitsu also got lucky in this check of Eastern. The big key was the first item, so that's going to make routing super convenient. Though, if you're going to full clear Eastern anyway, I don't think it really matters where the big key is. Really, what matters more is where the items are.
Yeah. However, if Mikan finds 4 small keys in the front... Well, there are 4 small keys in the front, but... If Mikan finds them all, then Mikan needs to check the vanilla Biki chest.
The ice rod can be bought. Yeah, we have it. Thank you.
I haven't heard that's it. And wow! Value found already in Eastern Palace with Cane of Samaria.
Well, that doesn't actually... Well, it opens the front of Turtle Rock. You're gonna have to go through Turtle Rock the attended way if you want to do Turtle Rock right now.
Actually, Cane of Samaria gives us access to the boss if Laser Bridge has a big key and a small key. And we could just fully backdoor... or...
True, I wasn't sure if we could actually access that ledge.
Oh, wait, no, we can't. No mirror. Almost forgot about that. Almost forgot.
Yeah, no, then we can't. So yeah, they would have to go through the front.
Yeah, they can go through the front. However, key logic might prevent them. That's what we should be saying.
It might. Because inverted does mess the keys up a little more. Piece of Heart is in Super Buddy Cave.
Okay, thanks, game. We already checked that.
So where is this hammer?
Our 4 swords, by the way, for those trying to remember, we had 1 in our Link's house. We had 1 on the Hylia Island. We had 1 in Hook Paradox. And I believe our last one was actually in... Oh, there's our mirror, by the way. I think our last one was actually in the Balmo hut in Village of Outcasts.
That sounds correct, yes. Alright, so with the mirror in possession, that now leaves only the book that can be unfed.
Yep. Can't be hammer.
In fact, it's book and hammer for go mode, technically.
Actually... Oh, no. Hammer pot is a pendant. I kind of flinched there for a second. And we're seeing a pause buffer here, which means we are seeing what is called the hammer jump.
We're also seeing NMG, or not NMG.
Oh, just a little too far to the right.
Yeah, messed up his position on the Armos.
It's easy enough to do. And there's the hammer jump done successfully. And just bombs on Armos Knights themselves, but our second crystal in the match. Both of which are on Hitsu.
Well, We might be able to see some of these items that Mikan's picking up. The first one was a piece of heart. It's the second one that we may not be able to see.
Yeah.
So that's 2 crystals for Hitsu. Mikan has yet to grab 1, actually.
Now here's the thing. We know Pendant Pod has progression in the form of that mirror. The question is, does this mirror lead to anything else, or is it just going to be the last piece of the puzzle that Hitsu will need for this seed? Because
It opens Swamp, too.
it also fully opens up.
Well, I say that. It partially opens Swamp. That's another hammer block.
It also fully opens up Turtle Rock. We can go from the back to the front now. Just completely destroy Turtle Rock.
But that's not what Hitsu's gonna do.
No, Hitsu's gonna check the front. And
I mean, you may as well just progress through the front until you can progress no further.
yeah.
As this seed said earlier, the ice rod can be bought. Means you can probably get some stuff in here.
And it doesn't look like Mikan walked away with anything, but I quick menu, and it looks like all that Mikan is missing is the map. So, has everything out of Palace of Darkness. Well, for the exception of one item, but that's technically on Sir Hospital and not inside the dungeon.
With the mirror, too, Mikan has access to Paradox Cave.
Mikan's already had access to Paradise Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Has access. Has now access to the Smiths, I think. No, we had access to Smiths.
Yeah, we've had access to a lot of this. Inverted logic is very confusing.
Yeah,
but it does look like with this mirror, Mikan wants to try and backdoor TR.
There's no real reason not to.
Well, if he does need the cane, he doesn't have it currently.
Right, but that was at Eastern.
So he can get everything except for that, like, coupling of items in the front.
That's a telling story there, I think. There were 2 small keys in the front. I think that means that they intend you to not backdoor Turtle Rock, even though you can.
Hmm.
It kind of depends on where that big key is. It needs to appear in the next 2 chests.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Mikan can't kill Trinex without the big key, so...
Compass.
Depending on where it is will affect things. Goes immediately a check laser bridge, while Hitsu goes for the middle section.
And there's the big
right
key,
there.
so Hitsu will be blocked off here.
Mikan, meanwhile, needs a small key if he wants to kill Trinex on this trip.
Interesting note that the laser bridge is still not technically in logic. That's something good to mention.
Yeah, without invincibility items or the mirror shield, the bridge itself is technically not in logic.
And yeah, it's 3rd small key there, so... And a shovel.
So Mikan's got a... Mikan. There he goes. Yeah, he can't do anything else from that location.
Yeah. But we had 3 small keys that you can access from the front half, so...
Well, he only needs 1, and thankfully there's one, like, right in the middle that he can get, so he won't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah.
Hitsu, meanwhile, is back at Hylia Islands area.
Yeah, taking advantage of this Lake Hylia portal has been actually a blessing in disguise. I didn't even think about that one being a viable option here in Inverted for navigating between the two worlds.
Well, I know exactly what he's turning in right now.
Yep, time to check that mushroom. Oh,
Oh, there's the lamp.
okay. So what does that tell us?
It opened Eastern. It opened everything he found in Pod. It lets Meyer be clearable, and it opens up Turtle Rock to full logic.
I think something's in the roller room that we need to go get from Turtle Rock.
Mikan had an opportunity to check that chest before he came over here.
That is true.
That thing.
Yes, I believe it's the Blue Badger.
Sounds right. Hitsu's gonna go hit up Escape. And Mikan... Where is he going, actually? I guess he's going back upstairs to check the one chest he can in the Chomp Room.
Yeah, which we know is the compass. And our uncle somehow got to this escape shaft in the light world, even though we start in the dark world. Our uncle gets around.
Mikan's trying to be very careful about because those chain chomps will kill him at his current health.
That is correct. Chain chomps deal the second highest damage in the entire game. Highest is, of course, Ganon contact damage. Yeah, what is with me tripping over my words tonight? Common thing. I really should stop.
All right, so it looks like Mikan is A, not going to fight Trinex, and B, oh, because he doesn't have the cane, and B, he didn't go to check out the chest.
Well, can't check the roller room chest.
Well, he could have if he had gone further from the big chest.
Yeah, could have gone through the middle path. But
without having gone to Eastern, he can't actually clear the dungeon.
Actually, how many small keys we found? That could just be our fourth small key.
Well, let's see. There were 2 small keys in the front section, correct?
Yeah. There were one on the bridge.
And it's very likely that that was the small key, because unless Trinex has it, which I don't think he can, there's nowhere else it can be.
Yeah, and Laser Ridge didn't have a small key either. So yeah, the roller room is our last small key.
Both runners off to Escape.
Yeah, so far we haven't found anything too important here, although that can change right now. And a kind of a different story here. Hitsu is going to set up a Death Warp.
No, well, actually, did he remember to take out the fairy when he did his refills?
I don't think he did. If he did, I don't remember.
Took out the bee. Did he remember the fairy? Yes, he did.
Okay.
Suppose the lamp also put this chest in logic, though that's not exactly a big deal. Most runners can navigate to this one. And since he's got the mirror, Mikan's actually going to check that one first.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what item that Hitsuyan's going to pick up and we can't see in the dark, don't worry. Mikan will show us here in a few seconds afterwards.
Yeah, Mikan's actually going to be able to navigate the room a little faster, knowing the exact spot he's in. Although with the torches over there, that's a bit of an easy thing too.
Yep, just some ammunition.
So I don't think there was anything in Escape.
Nope. I'm starting to get a feeling that this he's trying to troll us. I'm starting to think that we might have it in Misery Mire. Although the true troll would be the first chest of Swamp has our hammer.
Well, first, it's not the one with the key.
Yeah, because there's always a guaranteed key.
Hitsu off to check Agina and Paradox, most likely.
Yeah, checkerboard here.
Or not sorry, checkerboard, not Paradox. You knew what I meant. nothing in checkerboard though.
Yeah. And Pet is still somewhat alive right now. We still don't have that book. I'm actually quite impressed that it's staying alive this long. With us being 50 minutes in.
I think the other thing too is the hammer
Never mind.
is right there and blocking a lot of the hints that we still can't get to.
Oh, we could get a...
So they could have got that a long time ago.
Yeah.
After they got the flute that was open.
They've had access to it since Dark World. Since
Actually,
they got
just Dark World access. Because they could just come over here. No one wants to make that trek though.
Yeah. So the thing is, they still had access to all 3 hints and ice pals, even without the hammer. But now those hints are seeming rather tasty. Given we can full clear the dungeon.
Yeah, so Mikan with the mirror looks like he's gonna head over to Eastern just because he hasn't done this yet, and Hitsu looks to be going after Hera.
Yeah. Here's another one of those dungeons. This one is severely out of the way. First off, but also has 2 hints.
Yeah, Hera's a good trove of valued information.
Yeah. And the only thing we need in terms of information on our side is we need the information where the book is. That'll put us in a no-mode situation.
Well, the thing that's really interesting about this book is because it's the book, we won't know if it's on PED.
Unless we are told by one of the hint tiles.
Yeah, that is the only way we will know beforehand. So that is the major hint these runners are looking for, is the book is, or a unique item is somewhere. The unique item could be a red herring, however, because that counts things like, I think, the bug net.
Yeah.
A unique item could be dug up.
Oh!
Mikan, your shovel is calling.
Wait a minute. Wasn't our gloves at the digging game? Those are.
Oh, that could have been it too, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Because each of the gloves counts as a unique item for the sake of the hints.
I also forgot that counts as dug up.
So we're taking a little bit of a coffee right here because we need to. Mikan will be getting the Cane of Samari, though.
You think the lawyer would be the one taking a coffee break here, though?
Oh, I played Phoenix Wright as one of my first seeds on version 30, and I just loved its book reading sprite. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone, but it's a treat.
Well, given we have to go to the desert, we'll at least see part of the animation. We will probably not see the full thing, which is what you were hoping to see. Hitsu, with still lacking that mirror, is gonna have to take another death warp. Hasn't gone to pod yet, and with the hammer, that might be a play that happens soon.
Well, here's the thing. Pod is a pendant.
Ooh, that's a good point.
It's low priority as far as Hitsuyan's mind is concerned. That mirror is only needed from, realistically, for Swamp, which is a crystal.
Well, he needs it. We know he needs it for Turtle Rock as well.
That is true, yeah, because of the key logic. He's locked out.
Alright, hit number 2. Unique item requires a bomb.
That could have been that. I think that was our boots hint.
That could have also been Mini Mortarm Cave for the Quake Medallion.
Yes, but remember, like you said, there is a guaranteed boots hint. That's probably it.
That could be it, yeah.
Because even if there is one guaranteed boots hint, but they do mask it sometimes with that unique item prefix or wording.
So Mikan now has the Cane of Samaria and can actually clear out the remainder of Turtle Rock.
And
But
I blinked.
that may be a later trip.
I blinked. Wasn't there a boss there on at the top of Hera?
Moldorm doesn't really last long when you have a butter sword.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, for him anyway.
Where do you take your newly found hammer now?
To Mimic Cave. We haven't got a hit for this place yet. Could have something important.
Very true. And I suppose it's not entirely illogical. We haven't seen Spike Cave yet either. Ooh,
Could be very important. Silver arrows. That is not necessary for the sake of the sea, because it's pretty easy to do gold sword silverless on Ganon. But it will speed up the fight a fair bit.
This also makes the run officially a glass cannon run, because now they have all the power.
Yeah, pretty much.
And still none of the armor.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it. Both our armor upgrades are in Misery Mire.
Yeah, Mikan doing Turtle Rock. This does not surprise me.
Yeah.
Hitsu is gonna do ice now that he has the means to get through it.
Yeah, we'll finally get some information here, because I don't think Hitsu ever checked this first hit right in this opening room. Well, that would have been nice to know, I guess. Would have saved him some time searching.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost you much time to search Hera anyways.
I suppose that's true. And it was still a 50-50 if where the key was.
So it looks like Mikan's gonna dip the entire front part here quickly. Unseen Dragon, no. The only thing that can be on Ped right now is the book. As soon as we see the book, we A, actually have the information we need to know to finish the seed. And B, it kills off the Ped entirely.
Yeah. So, book is our no mode and our last hope for pedestal at the same time. And even though we won't get to read pedestal to figure out what's on it, a hint can tell us. And if we see that the book requires 3 pendants, it's on Ped. We'll also know if the book's on Ped if we hit a hint that says the book is in the Lost Woods. Because pedestal counts for that, for the sake of that.
That was a big fake hint.
Yeah, something about sweet corn on pizza.
Yeah. I mean, people will also argue pineapple in some regard, whether it's good or bad on pizza. So Mikan's now gonna get ready for diving into the back portions of Turtle Rock again. Given he's just got roller room left to check, he'll probably ignore it because I think he knows it's a key. And just go kill the turtle.
Alright, my favorite room in the game. Penguin bowling. Ah, misses the strike.
Spare.
Yeah, I picked up the spare, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you can't spare anybody to leave that room.
Yeah.
Chaos 985. The mode here is inverted, and the reason the book is important in inverted is because it is the only way to actually access Desert Palace. In normal modes, you could use the mirror to backdoor Desert Palace.
Yes,
But because of the way inverted works, you need the book. And since Desert is a crystal, we have to clear it.
Yeah, there's no way around it. That's kind of the trade-off here, is that you don't get the ability to backdoor Desert in the late game of Inverted Seeds, but you do get to backdoor Turtle Rock.
Interesting. It looks like Mikan is checking the chest after all.
This should be just a small key, though, if we've done a job right.
There's a good chance we haven't.
And we're 0-2 for any sort of progression in Ice Palace.
There is a hint he hasn't seen yet. Yeah, it was the small key. We were correct.
And that small hint is not gonna be red. It looks like we might have missed the third item there.
Yeah, we might have. Very good chance we might have. So we're gonna get simultaneous boss fights here, practically.
Yeah. Hitsu will be fighting Cold Stare. Mikan will be fighting Trinex. Will one of them have progression, or will the other one... Well, they both have progression in their own way. They both at least have a crystal for us to collect.
Mikan opts not to do Zero Cycle Trinex.
Don't blame him. It's very difficult and very dangerous, considering they...
By Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cold Stare's already down.
But our sword makes quick work of Cold Stare. It makes quick work of everything, but it especially makes quick work of Cold Stare.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. We did leave a hint behind in Ice, I think. I don't think we read the one in the long ice room.
No, Hitsu definitely skipped that one.
And
that's a bottle.
That's our final bottle.
So both the runners are missing key pieces of the puzzle that they each have. Although, actually, I think at this point, Mikan has everything that Hitsu does. The Hitsu, however, is missing the mirror, and by going to Pod here, he is finally going to get it.
Yes, Mikan, though, is missing the hammer.
Alright, that was the piece he's missing. And that's over at Desert, at Agina. He's gonna go check Moth next, though.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of crystals that Mikan kind of swept under the rug for the time being that he needs to take care of. We also still have 2 items in Mire that neither runner has bothered to go check.
We also have... We also have whatever's on Green Pendant.
This too. It's very possible that Helm has to die for the book.
Well, it's either that it's on Star Hospital, or it could be on Pedestal, or it could just be sitting in Swamp, and neither runner has checked it, and it's 6 items.
Well, that's because both of them are missing a piece to Swamp.
That is true.
This is the story of who is going to get into Swamp Palace first. At this point, it's going to be Hitsu. Hitsu is going to be able to get the mirror in this dungeon. Mikan, meanwhile, has to go to Agina to get the hammer.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But Mikan is also running out of locations to check, so there's a pretty good chance I think he'll be over there soon.
And last locationing your hammer is not an ideal time.
It's not, but at least you get to smash something immediately. It's a good way to get your frustration out, is to just slam that hammer into something.
Now, the mirror, for those who are wondering, that's on the bow lock side, so you did need the bow for the hit for the mirror here. It's on the arena balcony chest, as it's called.
Yeah, Hitsu will be going right over there, given the route he's taking. Moth is dead for Mikan.
Crystal number 3 in Mikan's possession, where actually Mikan is behind in terms of crystal progression.
Yeah, he took a long time to go do crystal dungeons, checked a lot of strenuous locations first. And again, he did Pendant Thieves Town fully. This is a time loss he has in comparison to Hitsu, who ignored it. Well, and unless the book is on Ped, it might remain the time difference in this race.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Mikan gonna get the mushroom as Hitsu gets the mirror.
Have we checked the mirror, the mushroom, actually?
Yes, we have. It was bombs. Hitsu went over there and got some potions.
We might be checking something else with that mirror, though. Or that mushroom.
Ah, yes, the bat. Speaking of which, we have not checked the Smiths.
The Smiths or the purple chest.
Yeah, it looks like Mikan's gonna set up for that right now.
I mean, this is pretty telling here. Hitsu is prioritizing dungeons and is going to be rewarded for it. Mikan is prioritizing overworld, which is the right play for Mikan to make, but it's not prioritizing the correct overworld.
Well, technically speaking, by getting the purple chest, he will be making himself go in the correct direction to get to the items he needs.
That is true. That is true.
He will, however, be leaving hammer picks behind.
So we got a small key and a piece of heart in the basement there, as we saw.
That was not a good mirror spot.
No. Yeah, the bushes are all cut on the left side of the library. You can just mirror on those sides. And speaking of which, we did find the mirror on Hitsu's side. So now it's pretty much clear this dungeon, make sure the book's not here, and then go to pod or swamp. I almost said pod.
He is in pod. And is going to do the jump.
And just as a reminder here, folks, this is Hitsuyan's choice in terms of seed here. This is game 2. So Hitsu made a good choice here, picking something that Mikan doesn't seem to be too familiar with.
So yeah, just for those who don't know what the format of the tournament actually is, and may have joined late, in group stages, each of the runners gets to take a pick of a seed type. The person with the higher seed, I believe, gets the first pick.
Yes.
First person gets theirs, second gets theirs. They will play 3 games guaranteed. So the third seed these two play, it will be randomized. Like, what they get as a seed will be entirely randomized, but they're allowed to veto options, each of them.
That's right. So for game 3 between these two, it will be chosen by a bot, and their options will be remove specific options from the pool. And I think Mikan will be removing inverted after this. I just have this strange feeling. And yeah, that hint about something unique was absolutely the gloves we already picked up. So that was actually this hint. Shovel only giving us 20 rupees.
So Mikan's going to walk the chest over, and he's probably going to go to get the remaining checks done in desert while he's in this area. I would do it if I was him in this situation.
This is good for Mikan. Because if Mikan goes to desert,
he'll get the hammer, and that is exactly what he needs right now.
And we'll be going straight back to swamp, and is right there. Meanwhile, Hitsu is going to take the mirror and finish Turtle Rock. So Mikan might be in go mode first, but have a little bit more ground to cover.
Neither runner's in go mode, though. Not even after getting this hammer.
That's true. I might have been speaking out of turn there.
We are still illiterate. we don't know what a desert is. But there's a good chance it's in swamp, and at this point, it's probably the best play to make.
Yeah.
And yeah, chat is mentioning, though, Mikan might do ice first.
That is true. That is true.
He's got ice and Hera to take out, but because swamp has been walled off for so long, and they're just now both learning that they could have gone there a long time ago, I would probably make an effort to head over there.
Yeah.
There's 6 items. It's the best density play.
Yes, and also, in terms of Mikan is really close to ice, or swamp compared to ice, so...
Yeah,
makes sense
Mikan's just gonna go straight there.
Yeah, it makes sense to start with swamp and check that before going to ice. And there is, of course, still that third hint in ice that we didn't read from Hitsu. That could give us...
Well, there's also one hint in swamp.
Right at the start. Either one of them could give us our information. That we're missing the book, and it could tell us where exactly it is. And we still haven't even checked Mr. Meyer.
No more sweet corn. As Hitsu does some laser skips. I just remember Laser Bridge is still not in logic.
Yeah,
where's our invulnerability item? Was it in here?
Probably.
I think it has to be. I don't think it's anywhere else it can be.
Meyer.
Actually, it could be on Ped or in Mire.
Not in Ped, no. I think the book's on Ped, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, that's what I think most people are hoping at this point. Make this race interesting. It would put Mikan in go mode, and he would get the silvers.
And more
given their
importantly,
location, I don't think he'll get them anyways.
Yeah, the silvers were, of course, in Mimic Cave.
The only inkling, the lamp is in Turtle Rock in the big chest.
That's right. Alright, Hitsu has cleared. Trinex is about to finish him off. Setting up, and well executed there, getting the spin and recoil to get a double hit there, and then one more slash before the center becomes vulnerable. Nice and easy quick kill.
5 for Hitsu.
That's right. But yes, nice and easy quick kill for Hitsu. Now the question here is, does Mikan go to the back first, or does Mikan go left side first? And it looks to be left side.
Mikan, did you just do what I think you just did? I feel like he just flooded the key.
I think he also flooded the key.
I'm fairly certain he flooded the key.
Well, at least that's a quick reset. You just had the mirror leave and then re-enter. There might be
going to hurt though.
There might be just a little tilt and a little panic from Mikan.
That hammer probably has him in a bit of a panic.
I think the hammer's got both our runners in a panic, actually.
Yeah, they both found it pretty late.
And it was really early on, so...
Chat has a point. He may be planning to mirror anyways. Which was actually the case. But...
Still needs to get that key?
I don't think that unfloods the key.
It does. They changed it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. The way the flooding works now in Swamp is that this sluice gate on Mikan's screen right now always stays flooded. The one in the front only will revert if you leave the screen on the overworld. And the one where you flood the key, you just have to leave the dungeon.
Ah, that's a little more convenient.
It's very unlikely you flood the key in there, and yeah, you can see it's already emptied. I believe that change was made in version 29, actually. So it's been around for a while.
Hmm. Did not realize it till today. Now, I believe Mikan still lacks the big key, so that big chest is just going to be at large.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of big chest still at large, Thieves Town coming back into play now.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. And Mikan isolated that. Hitsu can still go and finish that off if that's our book.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. And the fact that just crossed my mind is... Ooh, that would be a big kick for Mikan.
Alright, well, Mikan visually looks like they're in the lead, but right now, Hitsu has the crystal lead. And so far, all we've seen
is money and arrows.
Yes, we've seen 5 of the items here, so one last item to find. Is the book here and not here?
Oh boy. You kill that Argus first.
Yeah, you definitely kill Argus here first. It's now a 50-50 shot whether or not Mikan has found the last item here on Argus or not.
Hitsu, meanwhile, might come back to check left side.
So, we are hoping that for Mikan's sake, it's not the book. Because then we have a definitive lead in terms of Hitsu being at least a dungeon ahead, as well as...
Oh, Hitsu will be 2 dungeons ahead at this point.
Yeah. Mikan really needs Hitsu to start looking in Overworld for the book.
I think at this point, Mikan's hoping it's on Ped, because I think that's the main way he gets back in this race.
Pretty much, yeah. Alright, Argus, what do you have?
Compass, come back.
It is... Well, our last time is in the big chest. I think we got a hint for that, maybe? It's hard to keep track.
We did not get any swamp hints, no.
Alright. The only hint we got was the big red bomb, right?
That and the dig up item and some stuff we already knew.
Yeah, we already knew most of them. So this is a triple dip for Mikan.
Sadly. This was as inefficient as he could have routed this.
Yeah. Really was just because of a misstep.
He may have planned to do that. We might get some insight on that later when the race concludes.
I'm thinking it was just some tilt.
We'll find out. Blue mail, that's at least nice, but it's not what we're looking for at all.
Yeah, Mikan now has a fresh new suit.
Can logic force you to brute force Spike Cave at this point? I want to say no, but I think Mikan's going there anyways.
We do actually have enough health.
And I think he's going to go to Hera as well, because he needs to do that. Okay, so if you are Hitsuyan in this position, when you are done with Swamp and you see that there is not a book in here, where do you go? Do you do Thieves since you left on it? Do you go to Mire because you've been ignoring it for a while?
I would say for Hitsu, go to Thieves Town.
There's also a bunch of Overworld he hasn't checked. I mentioned Hammer Pegs earlier, wasn't able to be checked by Mikan. We don't know what that is.
I don't think Mikan did the sequence break to check the magic bat either.
No, Mikan needed the hammer to do that. He didn't have it at the time.
Right, because you can't do the mirror snack. I keep forgetting that.
Chat was actually talking about that. And Mikan's going to get 2 hints up here that aren't very helpful either. He's just going to need to get the items and kill Moldorm. And because the hint that told you that the big key was in the Firelocked room in the Tower of Hera was in Ice Palace, he doesn't know that either.
Well, it's quick. He's gonna find out.
Oh, we also found that hint way later than he would have liked to.
I'm starting to think
if there's... Sorry. Starting to think if there's any other locations that neither runner has checked.
Other than Misery Mire? Can't think of any, no.
Oh, wait a minute. Did neither runner check Lumberjack Cave?
Oh, no! I don't think they have, no! We could have an Agassiz, we don't even know it!
Oh. Our tracker's informing us he did check it. Okay.
Okay.
It must have happened at a time where there was a lot going on.
Oh, Lumberjack was Bugnet, okay.
Okay, that's why we saw Bugnet. I was like, I didn't see Bugnet this seed. That would explain it a lot. Mikan, it's a crystal. And Ganon's Tower isn't here. Don't save this for later. You're gonna have to make another trek up the mountain for no reason at all.
I think
Thank you.
I think Mikan realized it. Wait. Yeah, Mikan is definitely not as experienced with inverted.
Yeah, it's very clear that Mikan is not the most versed in the inverted format compared to Hitsu, and this is not not necessarily going in his favor here.
Yeah. If nothing else, though, Mikan is keeping up fairly nicely.
Yeah, this is still relatively close.
Alright. It is
Fire.
Mr.
2 items.
2 items.
Oh, we mentioned green pendant earlier, too.
Isn't the green pendant, though, at Palace of Darkness?
It is, but it's something else we haven't checked yet.
Suppose that is true. I think Hitsu is trying to be hopeful here. Hopeful in that the book is here in Misery Mire and can just take the portal, flute up to 6, take the portal, and just be straight in desert.
That would be the most convenient, so I can see the logic there.
I think also Hitsu just mirrored here as well, so we can just take the mirror portal back.
Yeah, he did. He set this up intentionally, trying to bank on the book being within the dungeon of green. Well, if you had to clear this dungeon, that was a very good place to find the big key.
Just the question now is, does Hitsu go to the back? I don't think Hitsu goes straight to the Vitreous.
Alright, so it looks like Mikan is going to go to the Mimic Cave now.
This is good. Get the silvers.
And that is going to even up our runners from a damage perspective.
Yeah, Mikan has a little bit more help to work with than Hitsu, but both are on blue mail, both are on gold sword, and both of them, thankfully, do not have a shield.
Yeah, shields can cause lag, and they haven't found any, so that's very helpful.
Well,
this is where Mikan does ice.
This could be good. There is, like I said, one hint there. And that hint could be the book hint, and it could give Mikan the advantage. Hitsu,
or
meanwhile,
doing Waterfall Cave. He's doing Waterfall Cave first.
Makes sense to me. Because this is just a quick mirror check here. Now, we have to be careful here for Hitsu, because Hitsu has already found one item here in Misery Mire, and it's only 20 rupees. So the odds of the book being in here are low, but could still happen.
That's not what he wants to see. That's also not what he wants to see. I think he's going to make his way over to the fire-locked room now, the really long cutscene room.
Well, this does give him a hint as well, if he so chooses to check it.
Hey, the book's right below you. Go get it.
I mean, I'll be able to figure out what if we have a book, I can figure out what it is. And really, there's not many. The dumb
thing too is, sorry,
go on.
I would be funny is if the book is in the next chest, but I don't know if this community hint from the original Zelda is even in the game for where. Oh, it's around magic for where it's go to the next room.
It is in the pool.
That would be pretty funny. Now, Mikan might not get that other hint either, though, because it depends on how he routes this dungeon for his collectible items, because we know that Hitsu found everything in here.
Some cash in West Ring Swamp, so could have saved you a little bit of routing if you went to Mire first.
Yeah, and that's a green rupee, so it's not in Mire.
Oh no.
We are down.
We are down to 3 locations.
One chest we're down to the Thieves Town big chest. We're down to Hammer Pegs. I think we have the pedestal and the green pendant.
Okay, 4 locations. I forgot about Hammer Pegs. So Hitsu is gonna go check.
He's gonna go get the green pendant, I think. Oh, he hasn't done Catfish or any of these other overworld locations.
Suddenly, Mikan is in a very good position.
Mikan needs to make the right call in this late game to make a nice big swing in the lead.
And keep in mind, there's still one hidden here in ice. Let's see if Mikan goes over to read it. Mikan will have to go north.
Oh yeah, the bat too. Though the bat, we don't have the power for the bat, but we can secret break to get the book from the bat if he has it.
Yeah. And it looks like Mikan will not be sequence breaking to check, or not checking the hint.
Now the other thing too, if it's on Ped, Hitsu now has to make another trip to Mire.
That is true. But thankfully it's a fast trip because Hitsu knows that it's just go to the mall. Go to Vitreous. Already has the rest of the dungeon cleared out.
True, but it is a trip you're still making over there. Whereas Mikan, we saw earlier, did clear out one of the pendant dungeons, so I imagine he's going to be more inclined than Hitsu to definitely clear out these remaining pendants when he's done here and doesn't find the book. In fact, I think he just found his third and final item.
I mean...
Hitsu going for Smiths.
The hint is just on the other side of this... No, Mikan's also not going to check the hint.
Nope, neither runner thinks it's worth their time. And because Hitsu did this, he needs to go and get into the light world because he can't do that from here. He's just checking the pegs while he's here. I would have done this after turning in the Smith and, you know, getting the purple chest.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay, that is the Cane of Burna. There's the laser bridge logic we were looking for.
Yep. Thank goodness it wasn't hard mode either, although I think the cane would work in laser bridge. Cold Stir, meanwhile, from Mikan. Couple slashes in the corner.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Alright, so, Mikan, where are you going to go next? We know it has to be one of essentially 3 locations now.
He's going to go to Mire because he hasn't visited that dungeon at all.
That's fair. Yeah.
And he's cleared out most of the overworld, so there's not much, like, scrounging around he has to do. He just has a small couple of items to check off the checklist.
Although, I think Mikan is going to turn the purple chest. I don't think... Did they do that?
No, he did that.
This is a bat play.
Yeah, I think this is a bat play. A bat, maybe even a Thieves Town big chest play.
Yeah, I see no other reason to be over here. Yeah, this is Magic Bat.
Oh yeah, Chad's right too. That does put Spike Cave in logic as well. That Cane of Burna. Hitsu doing Thieves.
Yeah, we're going to see some magic burn here from Mikan, and then we're going to see the fake powder trick.
Yeah, for those not in the aware of how this particular glitch works, if you empty your magic bar, then try to use an item and then switch to the... I think it has to be Samaria. This is not necessarily any item. Yeah, it does have to be Samaria. And while the sound effect for not being able to use the item because of no magic is playing, you switch to the mushroom, you can make magic powder.
Yeah, and this is because there's 2 states to the hammer's to the cane's animation, as there are 2 states to the powder's animation. And you just basically trick the game into thinking that you use the powder when you actually use the cane's animation.
Alright, Mikan's next play is Hammer Pegs. And Hitsu is going through Thieves. It'll be interesting to see if Hitsu or Mikan gets to this big chest first. Or if Mikan doesn't check it at all.
Mikan is going to pick up the blue cane.
Probably just to make Spike Cave a bit easier when he's done. But he's out of magic, which isn't a good thing. And it looks like he's not checking the chest. And I think he was maybe going to get a potion refill, but forgot that that number wouldn't let him do that.
Yeah, it would in the light world.
Now are you checking it?
Alright, both runners are going to check the big chest of
save the
keys down.
side here.
Alright, it's moment of truth time. Is this where our book is? Or is it
Hit.
Or is it locked so definitively behind Helmasaur King?
Hitsu is going to be the one who gives us this information first. All eyes on CDI on the CG yeah.
All eyes on Hitsu.
Yeah, on the link. Groupie, we are still looking.
There's only one place to be.
I
Ladies
think
and
it's either
gentlemen,
behind Sahasrara or it's on the ped.
either way, folks, it's really a 50-50 shot now that it's pedestal. We will know. No, the cane. The cane gives us yet another option. It's now still 1-3.
As the cane give us another option.
Spike.
Oh yeah, Spike Cave too. Right. So 3 checks. We keep forgetting about Spike Cave because it's not the location anybody wants to check. It might be Mikan's next guiding guess though, given he has this Cane of Burna.
And Mikan has been prioritizing Overworld as well.
Yeah, he'll check this because at this point he'll have just dungeons left.
No,
Nope,
going to
he's
Meyer.
He's going for the more dense location.
Don't blame him.
But he's out of magic, so he is going to have to down his blue potion to get it back. Speaking of items we haven't found yet, half magic.
Probably in Ganon's Tower at this point.
Could be in the possession of someone nice. We don't know yet. Hitsu's going to go get the purple chest now and trek it over to Gary to open it.
You mean airmail it, right?
Loop to cut down on some of the time, but he does need to use the portal. Mikan at this point knows that the items he has left to check are the 2 items in here, the green pendant, and the ped. So it is almost certain that he will clear this dungeon while he's here, just to cut out on some of the guesswork.
Yeah.
Because then he just has to go kill Helmasaur and he has his answer.
Well, also Spike Cave. We keep forgetting Spike Cave.
I keep forgetting Spike Cave. You can tell I don't like Spike Cave.
No one likes Spike Cave, to be fair.
It's a thorn in my side.
Really? I thought it would be a thorn underfoot, but anyway. This looks like it might be a play for Spike Cave, though, on Hitsu-san.
Unseen, we do know what the mushroom is. It is bombs.
Yes. And we know that it's only... We're basically down to Spike Cave, we're down to Sarhaspala, and we're down to Pedestal.
Hitsu's gonna go eliminate Spike Cave from... Well, no he's not, actually. Where is he going? I'm not actually sure at this point where he's going.
Look what Hitsu does not have.
Oh, right, he doesn't have everything in T-Rock.
Yep, he's going to check the big chest, which has the lamp.
Yeah.
This really is in Mikan's advantage, I feel, right now. Both runners are in a good position, too. Both of them have finished all but desert, so it's really a race to the book. But Mikan has left a lot less of one-off locations than Hitsu has.
Yeah, Hitsu has a ton of overworld to go do. I say a ton. He's got a fair bit of overworld to go do still. Mikan's gonna find both the items over here on the left side. And it'll be a matter of whether he decides to go kill Vitreous, which I would at this point, with how little we know has left.
Yeah, I agree completely. At this point, it's a pretty much a 1 in 3 shot that it is a pet seed.
Yeah, Hitsu gonna do that lumberjack check that we're now aware is the bug net. And now he needs to find the next place he needs to go. At this point, I think he may be in the position where he needs to go to Helm.
And someone is asking in chat if we checked the fairy bomb. We did have a hint for the fairy bomb, so no, we have not checked it because it doesn't have the book.
Yeah, we were told early on that there was cash and bombs at the ferry, so neither runner has gone there. Mikan is leaving Meyer too. Both runners are going to check the green pendant and hope that Pet is not the answer. Or Spy Cave.
And both runners are in a similar position too.
Ooh, Mikan doing something a little smarter here than Hitsu. Mikan is going to set up a portal so that he can go turn in the pendant immediately when he's done. Hitsu is going to have to flute back to the portal.
No, Mikan?
And it looks like
Mikan's checking the
Mikan is
mushroom.
going
Mikan's
to the mushroom first. Yeah.
Yeah.
May as well save the trip if he can. Unfortunately, we know he can't.
So we know it's not directly on Helm's Arcane because pretty much the only item left in Palace of Darkness is the map.
Yeah, Pod itself can't have it because we cleared it out fully.
So it is either on the green pendant, it is behind Pedestal, or it's behind Spike Cave. None of which are a good option, to be perfectly honest.
Mikan also going to buy some potions while he's in the area.
And this really comes down to whether or not it's green pendant or pedestal. If it's green pendant, Hitsu has a little bit of a time lead.
No,
but
actually,
if
it looks like Mikan's going to do the same thing. But yeah, if it's on Ped, Hitsu probably has it.
No, I think Mikan has it if it's on pad because Mikan has. No, actually, no, they're
both runners at this point are in the exact same position, so Hitsu is officially ahead of Mikan.
Yeah. But Hitsu still has a lot more overall to check.
I don't think there's actually that much more left that he has left to check. I think he's scooped it up at this point. Spike Cave, yeah, is where, if it's there, Mikan may have an advantage, because he can actually check that location without much of a hassle. But it's all going to come down to this green pendant.
Yeah, Hitsu can check it as well. Could just be a little bit careful with the health.
Painful. Be a little painful.
Yeah, has more than enough health, though. So, Helmsur is down. Oh, Helmsur did have an item.
Okay, I guess that was a bit of a miscount, but either way, it's not the book.
Yep, just some blueberries, as we like to call them.
Eternal September, Vidi does not have an item. We found the 2 items in Meyer, but apparently Helm had an item, we just didn't realize it.
Yeah. The 2 items that were in Misery Mire were 20 rupees and a singular green rupee.
I think Hitsu almost instinctively went over to Meyer.
Alright, so... is it locked behind the green pendant? This book is where it all comes down to.
Is the old man's wisdom that which teaches us how to read, even though we've been reading these tablets with hints on them the entire game?
No! It is not locked behind the green
Ped or
pendant.
Spike Cave, place your bets.
Pick your poison! Hitsuyan.
Going to
Misery Mire. Hitsu is thinking pedestal. If Mikan goes to Spike Cave after turning in the green pendant, this could be Mikan's races.
Yeah, the story of the races at this point is the book in Spike Cave or is it on the ped?
Yes, we're down to those two locations.
And if Mikan makes the divergence, and it's correct, he gains time. If it's incorrect, he loses a good chunk of it. He also loses a good chunk of his health.
No, Mikan won't lose his health. Mikan's the one with the cane.
Well, well, most people will wait to use the cane anyways. A lot of people will just go through the cave as long as they can and not use the invincibility item until they're on low health or near the end of it. Because the health is easier to replenish than the magic.
Yeah, that is true.
Chat, green pendant was a 5 rupee. It's not there.
Yeah, Hitsu did check that before heading over to Meyer. And Mikan did the same. So the question now is... Mikan pulling out the flute instinctively. Can't use it in the light world. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Is Mikan going to Spike Cave or is Mikan going to Meyer?
Spike.
Mikan is going to Spike Cave. We have a divergence and we have a race. This could make or break it. Is Ped the right play? Is Spike Cave the right play? We'll be finding out in just a matter of moments, folks.
Now, Hitsu will obviously go straight to Ped when he's done here. So, Mikan will be the Meyer kill and the Ped grab behind. And that is probably going to be at least 90 seconds to 2 minutes in difference.
Eyes on Mikan.
It's on Ped!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Paradox book on pedestal, and Hitsuyan is definitively in the lead.
And this is why you clear Meyer when you come here the first time. Either runner could have had a little bit of a time save if they just cleared out the pendant dungeon completely.
Yeah, they could have.
Hitsu gonna make a bolt for the pedestal.
So the question is now, do you play to the crowd? Do you read the pedestal after getting the book?
Given your opponent may be as close as behind as you are,
Probably not, yeah.
in position, you probably don't. Because at this point, that book being on Ped, while funny, is also incredibly frustrating because you've been searching for it for most of the seed. Ice Rod? No problem. Book? No, go get that in, like, the worst place possible. This has been A Link to the Past Randomizer, the adventure of learning how to read.
The pedestal is pulled. If this is not the book, we have missed something. But I don't think we have.
It is 100% the book.
Yes, it is. There we go, folks. There's your pet seed. And now Hitsuyan is now officially in go mode.
Yep, the only item unchecked at this point is Spike Cave for him, and he doesn't care. He just needs to get through Desert, find the big key, and get out. So, this was not an all-dungeon seed, but it was an all-dungeon seed.
No, it still wasn't an all-dungeon seed. All dungeons would require Aga 1. We didn't have to fight Aga at all.
Okay, fair, but we still had to do all the pendant dungeons.
That I will concede.
So yeah, in terms of other major collectible items, the shields, the powder, the cape, and one of our male upgrades is still at large. Those are all in GT somewhere. Or in here. They could be in here.
And a small key, so...
Alright, I'm gonna take a time check from when Hitsu finds the big key to give us a gauge as to just how far Mikan is behind.
I'd say at this point probably about 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes.
14452. Could GT routing make a big enough difference? That's going to depend heavily on the variance of where that potential key could be. And I don't know. With how this seed's been thus far, I don't know what GT has planned.
And speaking of GT, actually...
We're not there quite yet, but the guessing game will be starting after the Lammolas die.
That is correct.
Mikan gonna go get that book. Very last location it could be for Mikan.
Yeah. It sucks when you last location your go mode, but at the same time, it's pedestal. You don't want to be on pedestal.
I mean, Mikan also kind of last locationed his hammer. This has not been a good seed for him.
Yeah. Inverted definitely throwing a wrench in Mikan's routing.
How would you actually throw a wrench into an inverted seed? Would you throw it upside down or right side up? Or would you throw a two-sided wrench?
Alright, well, folks, it's almost time. Those Lammolas are going to die relatively quickly, and we're going to see this animation I alluded to earlier on this side here. But get your guesses in chat, folks. It's time for the big key guessing game.
Yep, we will start the guessing game in just a moment in chat.
So, folks, get your guesses in 1 to 22 or which chest you think the Ganon Tower big key is. And if you are a sub or supporter to the Speed Gaming Network, be it through 250 bits or more, or a subscription to any one of the Speed Gaming channels, you're eligible to be caught by the bot here that we've started to be put on a leaderboard.
I was actually gifted a sub by someone just this week, I think, so I'm actually going to be able to put a number in and get on the leaderboard, which for me is going to be chest 9.
Yeah, I'm going to say that because it was a pet seed, purely because it was a pet seed, seed's going to be nice with I'm going to say it's a chest 5. And, we didn't see it very briefly, but if Mikan had let the full animation play for Phoenix Wright, Phoenix Wright does the dramatic point.
147.40 for Mikan getting the big key, so he is about 3 minutes behind Hitsuyan.
But yeah, Phoenix does the objection point from behind the table. It's actually really cool.
It's going to take a lot for Mikan to be able to get back in the race at this point. Hate to say that.
All right. Last chance to get your guesses in, folks. And there's our magic power chest number 1. The half magic chest number 2. Hey, there's all of our safeties.
Those are both very nice items. We wanted them earlier.
Yeah. I really hope we do find the red mail for Mikan, though. That is one last thing I wanted to mention about the Phoenix Wright sprite.
Yeah, isn't it Miles colors?
Yeah,
like
it's
colors?
Yeah.
Aren't these technically Francisca-ish colors on him now anyway, too? Sorta?
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of an interesting... It was probably not intentional.
Oh, there's our
4's
cape.
A cape.
And a
5
shield.
is a shield. 6 is a key. 7 is 20 rupees. On to chest 8 in the fire bar room.
And the Lammolas have fallen for Mikan. Chest 8 in Ganon's Tower is vanilla. The map.
On to 9, which is going to be the Fire Snake room, which is where my guess is currently slated. And Mikan needs to flute in order to mirror. He's actually going to mirror over instead of walking. That may be slower, actually. I'm not sure. 9 is key, so my guess is out.
Yeah.
Rando room 10 through 13. Alright, Mikan making his way over. 10 bombs. Heart piece. Bombs. Big key. 13.
Yep, it is chest number 13. Get that set up to announce the winner.
So Hitsu is making the climb.
Oh.
Forgot a number there.
Yes, I did. The person the first sub-subscriber to guess correctly was Miss Maggie. So congratulations to you, and let's go ahead and say the results as well. And there's the leaderboard, as you can see it. Lots of names up there.
I just realized there's one more way Mikan could lose more time. Thankfully, he's not doing it. He could have gone right side.
Yeah, that would have been the deviation that Hitsu needed to make in order for Mikan to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, or the key just being on that side in general.
Yeah, this is basically all execution at this point for Hitsu.
Yeah, and most of the runners in this tournament, given how it was decided, which was through a qualifier set, have very good execution. It is a rare occurrence when something happens. And Hitsu's putting on a clinic in this gauntlet.
This seed is just making me real here a little bit. It was a ped seed. It was a very trolly hammer location. Oh, slightly trolly.
It was booked on ped, so you couldn't tell what was on ped.
Well, I keep alluding to it. There's that one hint in ice that we never saw. That could have been the hint for a book.
Well, there was also the hint over in Dark Hylia Island.
That is true. No one ever took that.
Lake.
That hint saved me in a race one, so I always remember that one from now on.
Yeah, thinking about it, this seed, the hints didn't do anything.
Yeah, most of them were either joke hints or irrelevant info that we already had.
Yeah, a lot of them were old news. That's the thing about hints. They can be very helpful. They can also mislead you a ton. They can also not do anything, like this seed happened.
So our hammer, for those who just not tuning it, was at Sir Hospital. Our book was on pedestal. And the
hammer was a Geenock.
And and Cane of Bruno, which was required, was at hammer pegs. Because that's where our turtle rocket launcher was.
That was the laser bridge logic for that. Oh yeah, the Fat Fairy was the only good hint we got.
Yeah, really.
And that was the first hint we got.
The rest would have been helpful if we got them in any order. A couple of them would have been helpful, like the swamp hit if we actually went to the swamp before Mire.
Hitsu not checking any chests at this point. I don't blame him. The only item you're missing at this point that's even remotely helpful is the red mail, and you have 17 hearts, so why do you need red mail?
Yeah. Kind of surprised he didn't take the full heal at the beginning of this, though, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Probably has a blue potion or two stocked up anyway.
Oh, he bought some potions earlier. He should have some.
Yeah, not even checking Moldar's chest, so it is now time for geometry.
The hookshot makes that room very, very simple when you know what to do with it.
As is the cape, because you can just ignore all the puzzles there and just go straight in, and you'll have more than a magic with half. to do Ganon.
Aga 2, let's see how the patterns are looking. That was not a very well executed first pattern. This is now a much more better one.
Yeah, double single hits. Ooh, these Aga patterns are very rude.
Oh, quite rude. He got 2 on that at least.
Yeah, nice salvage there.
And that's gonna be a 1-1-2-2. Not too bad.
Yep. But now Aga 2 down, it is now time to fight the pig, and we have gold sword and silver arrows in hand. It's pretty straightforward from that. 6 slashes a phase to advance to the ground smash phase. After which Ganon's teleports are seeded for both runners, so it'll be the same regardless. If a death or a fall occurs, they will be changed. But 4 hits in that phase when Ganon stops teleporting, and then we're on to the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, 1 slash to stun, and 1 silver arrow to Ganon. 4 total to finish him off. Should Hitsu run out of silver arrows, and with 12, that's very unlikely. It is 3 spin attacks per missed silver shot. Those are the silverless strats. You could use slashes, but the spin attacks are much more viable.
Yeah, like this. This is like the easiest Ganon you can have. So there's very little standing in Hitsuyan's way of getting through this seed.
Yep, which means I need to pull up IRC and get an official time.
Did we find the arrows in Death Mountain? Yeah, Mimic Cave was a location we kind of checked just because we were really searching. Ooh, missed torch glitch, not a big deal. Half magic is going to be fine to get through the rest of this. And I'm fairly certain he's got at least 1 more blue potion. It was a little late hitting Ganon there to stun him after he got one of those silverless hits, which you can get with other swords. The slash,
Yeah, silver slash even. That's a rarity, but get your GGs in chat for Hitsuyan1337, the winner of this race. This game, their game 3 will be decided by a bot, and our official SRL time for Hitsuyan is first place with a time of 1:57:03.
I didn't quite get to see the Triforce text. It was, do you want bacon, pork, or
ham? I think.
do you prefer bacon, pork, or ham? Okay. Hard question.
Yeah, kind of hard question. Something I'll answer here real quick. If you fall inverted, where do you come out? There is actually an ended staircase to the left side of Hyrule Castle. That's where you will pop out. The old exit for the pyramid is actually reserved for Houlihan, and we are now joined by Hitsuyan. So, how's it going? That was a good race. Although, I guess
guys.
Good race, bad seed.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
So
totally exhausted.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It came down to Ped versus Spike Cave from you and Mikan. Mikan chose Spike Cave and was actually the first one to pull that item.
Yeah, good thing for me was I forget about Spike Cave.
It
didn't
was
pick up burner, so it was gray on my map all the time, so I forget about that. That was lucky for me.
Yeah, if that was at Spike Cave, Mikan would have actually been ahead of you.
Probably not by much. You were around the time he got there. You were fighting Vitreous.
Yeah. Overall, this was a really great seed to watch. Although that hammer was kind of in a rude spot too.
Yeah,
I don't know. The seed had no logic, I think. The whole time you find so many items in the overworld, light world.
The story of the seed obviously being the book. Ice Rod, not a story at all.
Yeah, Ice and Fire Rods were both just handed to you. As was the hammer to as well. You just didn't go to it right away.
That was a really quick 4th phase by Mikan there.
Yeah, but I feel the whole seed behind because I failed at the start in Skullwoods at the mummies, and then I skipped the lamp.
Yeah. But get your GGs in chat now for Mikan, who is now crossed in second place with an official time of 1:59.39. GG, we'll be getting Mikan in here shortly.
Both runners managing to get sub 2 despite everything that happened in this seed. You also didn't have any issues for damage this seed. Those swords were basically handed to you on a platter.
Yeah, that really. One of them was just literally right in your house. You both got it within 2 seconds.
So how do you think you did from an execution standpoint this seed?
Not good. In GT, probably at the start not good, but at the end I think it was okay. Again, could be fast.
Yes, and we are now joined by Mikan. GG's to you as well. This race was actually fairly close.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm not happy. This is actually my first inverted I've ever played.
Yeah,
it's a routing nightmare.
That was a little apparent, I think, from some of the stuff that happened there. I think it was most apparent when you left Tower of Hera.
Okay, well, okay, that one I can explain. That one was because I was too busy thinking, where in the world do I go next? Oh, I forgot I should probably go check Mimic Cave. Oh, I'm right here at the entrance to Hera. That's really close. I can just walk right over there.
So, this race is actually a lot closer than you would probably realize. If the book was actually at Spike Cave, you would have been in the lead. That's how close it came.
It would have been like 30 seconds to a minute, but it would have been a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, this literally was decided by that deviation, because you both went to Palace of Darkness at roughly the same time, back to back. Hitsu just pulled ahead of you at that point. And
yeah, well, I don't know. I want to reiterate again, I haven't played Inverted Seed before, so getting my first one as a pedestal book is absolutely stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Just because of the routing hoops you have to jump through to check every little thing in Inverted, it made me a little upset.
Yeah, at least now you know most of the quirks and can probably figure out the seats a little bit better. That's something to take away from this. Although, given that this was your first Inverted and that you still have one game against Hitsu, I think I know what you're going to veto.
Well, I was planning on vetoing Inverted. Yeah, before this I was.
This just reinforces the choice.
Yeah, but for your first Inverted, by your own words, you did actually pretty well. Just a few things tripped out here and there. Here, really.
I guess that's a point to bring up, too, for some other small differences that did happen this seed. Mikan, you went and cleared out Thieves Town very early. Hitsuyan did not actually do that till much later when Ped was actually becoming a prospect, so that was a minor time difference you two had for a while. And when it came to missing items late, you found the mirror first. Hitsuyan found the hammer first.
I would imagine he found the hammer first. Yeah. That's if I ever play Inverted again, which I'm sure I'll be made to. That has to go in my standard light world routing, down looping around that way, because I just didn't think about how much of a pain in the ass it would be to get back over there to check those two items.
Yeah, Agina is already out of the way. I think it's more so without a mirror or even with a mirror in that type of format.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really wondering about the seed is if there was actually a hint to that pedestal book, because there was only 2 hints you guys never checked. The one at the Dark Ice Rod Cave, which is just a quick mirror away and Inverted. And you also, both of you skipped the 3rd hint in Ice Palace.
I didn't skip any hints. Oh, yeah, I did. Because all 3 items were on the right side. It was great.
Yeah, you guys had a very easy Ice Palace, and you both left without that remaining hint. Had one of those hints mentioned the Ped, this could have been a much different race. Had either of you decided to clear Meyer on your first trip, this would have been a very good race. Neither of you actually killed Diddy until the second trip.
Okay, good. I can feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened in this race. Mikan, you seem to be prioritizing overworld. Hitsu seemed to be prioritizing dungeons. It could have gone either way at the end, really, because it was literally Hitsuyan's pedestal play versus your play on Spike Cave, and depending on which one was right, you guys would have been in the lead.
No, Spike Cave didn't take me nearly that long. It wouldn't have caught me up.
No, well, here's the thing. He didn't pull the pedestal until after you pulled the item at Spike Cave.
Yeah, he was fighting Vitreous when you were at Spike Cave. You would have had maybe a minute on him. You were like 2 minutes behind when he was in that dungeon.
Yeah, I guess it would have saved me a second trip into Meyer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really came down. It was that one deviation that made this race really hype until the very end. But you guys finished relatively close to each other, which is still an amazing time.
My credits finished first.
No, both of you are probably going to go and de-stress from this seed now because that was a long one and a bit of an annoying one to route.
Yeah, this one was quite annoying. At least it wasn't an Aga-required seed. That would have possibly made things even worse.
Yeah,
But
you guys could have picked all dungeons and the race would have barely changed.
Pretty much. But yeah, GG's to both of you as well. Any final thoughts on the seed from you two?
Yes. Heck off.
And actually, Hitsu, I never asked you this. What we know when Mikan's most likely going to veto between you two in your game 3. What are you going to try to veto?
I cannot say this. It's tactic. If he chose me to veto first, it would be different.
Fair.
That is fair. Keeping your information to yourself so that you don't reveal anyone else for your game 2. That's smart.
Oh, that was,
let you
this
know.
was one other thing that just occurred to me that I actually wanted to ask Mikan real quick. Did you intend to flood the key?
No, as soon as I was like mid pushing the switch, I was like, no, let go of thumb, please stop. Quit pushing left. No, that's about how it went. And I just kind of
because
whatever.
it ended up making the most inconvenient swap routing for you because the big key was in the back.
Right. At least I got the blue mail out of it. That was worth it.
Yeah, you both ended up getting that. It just was a really arduous sort of route for you.
Actually, if that also could have made this a lot closer if that mistake didn't happen. This probably could have been like within a minute.
Yeah, it's all small stuff that makes for these time differences at this point.
I'm sure there was a lot more than just that. It's fine.
Yeah, this race could have gone either way, but GG's to you, Mikan, as well as to you, Hitsu, for being the winner of this race. Make sure to give both of these folks a follow here on Twitch. They put on a very excellent race for us today, despite all the trolls to see throughout them. While you're at it, make sure to give my co-commentator BuckshotBoot24 and our tracker Melee Wizard a follow as well. And of course, we are on Speed Gaming 3. Make sure to follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. So stay tuned for more Randomizer and a whole bunch of other kinds of races as well. And if you're more comfortable speaking German, Spanish, or French, or at least listening to it, we have free streams in those languages for your viewing pleasure as well. And of course, if we can get some, not all of these races are being featured, but if we can find some extra ones, we will show them on the Link to Fast Randomizer series of channels for you. And speaking of which, Sorry.
I actually have that open right now, the list of races coming up. In about 45 minutes, there will be a race between Chloe Power and Brewers fan JP on Speed Gaming 2. It is a retro seed, Ganon Open. After that, there will be races at 8:30, 10:30, and 11:30, along with one at 12:30 at the turn of the hour for Eastern Time. Make sure you follow some of the respective Speed Gaming channels to see these. They will be on... none of them are on Speed Gaming 1, actually. They're all on 2 through 4.
Yeah. Matter of fact, one of them, SAGG and Someone 325, will actually be here on Speed Gaming 3 at 8:30, so in a couple hours from now. And that one's going to be fun because it is swordless, hard, Randomizer, and all dungeons on top of all that.
Oh, man. Okay, since I'm not commentating, so that means I'm not part of Speed Gaming right now, I want to plug Mystery Tournament going on GDQ. We'll watch Zelda too. Also, Zelda's pretty cool. But hey, Mystery Tournament files are on.
All right, well, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, that's gonna do it from us up here. Have a good evening, everyone, and
Yep.
have fun watching more Rando.
From all of us here at ALTTPR Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we'll see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.